You ever find yourself stuck in that awful loop? You know the one. It starts with anxiety, that leads to guilt, which then feeds this need for perfection, and suddenly, you're so overwhelmed you can't get anything done at all. Well, today, we're going to talk about how to actually break that cycle. Okay, tell me if this sounds familiar. You've got this whole plan, right? Wake up early, be super productive, just totally crush your to-do list. But then the snooze button happens. You wake up an hour late, and before you even realize it, another hour's gone, just scrolling on your phone. Lost. And the second you snap out of it, this wave of frustration just crashes over you. You know you should be working, but you just feel stuck. And that feeling, that tug of war between what you're supposed to be doing and what you're actually doing, it just eats you alive. The anxiety just keeps building. And this is the battle that's happening inside our heads. On one side, you've got the perfect plan. On the other, well, there's the messy reality. We keep telling ourselves, okay, I'll make up for the lost time, but that pressure just makes it worse, leaving us feeling completely frozen and anxious. So what is actually going on here? If you've ever been in this spot, you might have noticed something kind of weird. The anxiety is always at its absolute worst before you start the task. The second you actually begin, it starts to melt away. And that's a huge clue that we're probably fighting the wrong enemy. It turns out the work itself, it was never the problem. The real monumental challenge is just getting over that hump, that inertia, and taking that very first step. That's the mountain we actually have to climb. And this gets to the real root of it all. This isn't about laziness. It's something called perfectionist's paralysis. Basically, we set the bar for success so incredibly high that we become terrified of not being able to reach it. And so we just don't start at all. It's that voice in your head, right? The one that says, I imagine how perfect it should be, and that thought alone stops me from even beginning. That beautiful, perfect image of the finished product becomes the very thing that's blocking our way. So, how do we get out of this trap? Well, it takes a really fundamental shift in how we think. We have to start measuring our success by a completely different standard. And here it is. This is the big idea. Progress is so much more important than results. Seriously, if you can just forget about the perfect outcome for a minute and just focus on making a tiny bit of progress, something amazing starts to happen. Think about it like a long line of dominoes. Your only job is to give that very first one a gentle push. That's it. Once you do that, momentum kicks in. The other dominoes start to fall. Progress just starts to flow. And eventually, the results you were so worried about, they just show up on their own. And this idea of taking small actions, it actually connects perfectly with the work of James Clear in his incredible book, Atomic Habits. He makes the case that it's not really about our goals, it's about the systems we build. You see, Clear says we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. A huge goal, like write a book, is totally intimidating. But a system, like write one page every day, that's something you can actually do. And that's what gets the book written. But then he takes it even deeper. He says that every single action you take isn't just about getting something done. No, it's a vote for the type of person you want to be. It's a little piece of evidence you're handing to yourself about your own identity. So think about it. How are you voting? Scrolling on your phone? That's a vote for being a procrastinator. But reading just one page of a book? That's a vote for being a learner. Working for even 5 minutes? That's a powerful vote for being a disciplined person. Every action casts a ballot. And once you start to see your actions this way, as votes, it completely redefines what it means to win the day. It's not about that huge, perfect, monumental outcome anymore. The win becomes something much smaller and way more achievable. I mean, just look at the difference here. The old way, the one that keeps us stuck, says success is the perfect result. The win is finishing the whole thing. But the new mindset? It's so much simpler. Success is just starting. The win is just taking that next tiny step. So the next time you feel that perfectionist anxiety starting to creep in, you can use these as your new mantras. Just tell yourself, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to begin. And remember, progress itself is success. And that is the whole thing right there. You can let go of all that pressure to win the day. Your only job is to take one small, honest step forward. That single step, no matter how small it feels, is a victory. It's a vote for the person you're becoming. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Forget about that giant goal that feels so far away. What is one small, imperfect, but honest step you can take right now? What's one vote you can cast for progress today?